What if I told you that the way you spend your first 10 minutes each day could change the entire direction of your life? This isn't about being perfect. It's not about waking up at 4 a.m. or copying someone else's routine. It's about something deeper, your relationship with yourself. In a world that pulls you in every direction, your morning is your chance to reclaim your power. To slow down. To show up for you before the world demands it. This video isn't just a list of habits. It's an invitation to create rituals that bring you home to yourself. So if you're ready to stop rushing through life and start designing it with purpose, welcome. You're exactly where you need to be. And remember, today is a gift, so let's begin like we mean it. If you want to be good at something, you have to do it every single day. That's where everything starts. Not once a week. Not only when you feel like it. Every day. It's the repetition that builds excellence and the discipline that shapes your identity. The way you start your morning sets the rhythm for your entire life. It's not just about brushing your teeth or checking your phone. It's about how intentionally you greet your own existence. And that's where a morning routine becomes more than just a habit. It becomes a contract with yourself, one that says, I'm showing up today. No matter what. That's why the most successful people start their day by investing in themselves before the world asks anything of them. Whether it's breathwork, meditation, movement, or just a moment of stillness, they take the first hour and pay it forward to their own mind and body. These are not random acts of wellness, they are rituals, grounding anchors that remind them who they are, even when life feels chaotic. They don't do it because it's easy. They do it because it sets the tone. I am someone who keeps my promises. And when you consistently keep those tiny promises each morning, you build something much deeper, confidence. Because confidence doesn't appear from nowhere. It is earned. Slowly. By doing what you said you would do, even when nobody's watching. Especially when nobody's watching. And when you stop keeping those little promises, when you start skipping the very things that center you, you begin to erode your own trust. The world feels heavier. Your energy drops. Your focus scatters. But when you build those rituals into your mornings, you regain control. Not of the world, but of how you face it. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop surviving and start leading. That's the power of owning your morning. And here's the thing, these rituals don't have to be boring. They are not chores to check off a list. They are sacred, personal, and energizing. Some people find that cold plunges wake up their courage. Others swear by deep meditation, journaling, or a 10-minute walk in the sun. These are not just wellness trends, they are tools of alignment. They turn your mornings into a place of certainty in a world full of noise. And the truth is, your routine doesn't need to look like anyone else's. It just needs to feel like you. The goal isn't perfection, it's ownership. Ownership of how you start your day, and therefore, how you live your life. 5. That's why experimenting with your mornings matters. The best routine isn't found, it's created. It's built through trial, error, listening to your gut, and observing how your energy responds. Some tried meditation and hated it. Others tried reading and felt bored. But eventually, they discovered their rhythm, lifting weights, blasting music, or even drawing in silence. And once they found that rhythm, it became a lifeline. Because every successful day begins with a string of good mornings. And every good morning is born from intention, not imitation. The best routine is the one you'll actually return to, because it makes you feel whole. 6. Progress isn't made in a single leap. It's built in quiet repetition. In waking up and having a good day, and then another, and another. That's how success is shaped, not in sparks of motivation, but in the steady rhythm of consistency. You don't need to be extraordinary tomorrow. You just need to show up today, and again the next day. Little by little, you become someone who doesn't just chase purpose, but lives it. The pursuit of progress is less about sprinting, more about pacing. It's about learning to fall in love with your daily rituals, knowing they're not only preparing you for what's next, they're reminding you of who you already are. And when life gets chaotic, as it often does, the strength of a solid morning routine is what holds you together. Even when traveling, even in the busiest seasons, there should be at least one thing you never skip. For some, it's breathwork. For others, it's journaling or early sunlight. That non-negotiable becomes your lifeline, your compass. You might miss a meeting or a flight, but you don't miss that sacred 10 minutes that grounds you. Because once you learn what nourishes your soul, you protect it. And that kind of commitment builds more than routine, it builds identity. That's why boundaries matter. Especially on the weekend. Especially when nobody's expecting anything of you. One of the most powerful habits you can build is carving out a morning just for you. A Saturday where the phone is off. A space for creativity, silence, reflection. Call it selfish, or call it sacred. But in that quiet, you reconnect. You draw. You sing. You breathe. You remember what it feels like to exist without obligation. It's not laziness, it's self-respect. The more you honor that inner stillness, the more clarity you bring into the rest of your week. And not everything needs to be intense. For some people, a joyful breakfast is part of the ritual. Cooking is creativity. Eating slowly is self-love. Walking around the house. Moving your body with grace. Watching something light-hearted instead of doom-scrolling before bed. All these things matter. They may seem small, but they are huge when done with intention. When you stop rushing your life and start savoring it, that's when routine becomes ritual. That's when the ordinary becomes beautiful. And that's how you start living on purpose, not just surviving the schedule. But don't forget, no morning routine can save you if your mind is at war with itself. Even the best physical habits fall apart if you haven't trained the space between your ears. Mental preparation is everything. There was a time when success slipped away from someone who had all the skills, because his thoughts said you don't belong here. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your biggest enemy. So train it. Respect it. Start each day with silence, intention, and belief. Because if you don't control the narrative inside, the world will write it for you. That's why some of the most grounded people you meet practice not only physically, but mentally. Meditation, visualization, journaling, talking to the universe, writing down what matters. These aren't strange habits. They are systems for clarity. The act of writing turns your desires into direction. When you put it on paper, you make it real. You make a commitment. You hold yourself accountable. And you begin to see that your goals aren't floating ideas, they're promises waiting to be honored. And the best part? You don't need hours. You just need to show up with honesty. Because the hardest part is usually just showing up. Getting your feet on the ground. Beating the tired version of yourself. It's easy to talk yourself out of things when you're low on energy. But that's when habits matter most, when you don't feel like it. The quiet, daily resistance builds momentum. One decision leads to the next. And before you know it, your days start flowing instead of dragging. Your energy starts coming from within. Not caffeine. Not pressure. Just presence. And that presence, when repeated, becomes power. So now you know, you don't need a perfect routine. You need one that's yours. Simple, soulful, consistent. One that reminds you that before you chase the world, you belong to yourself. Because your morning isn't just the start of a day, it's the start of who you choose to be. And when you begin each day with presence, with discipline, with care, you become unstoppable in the quietest, most beautiful way. If this message speaks to you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit the like button, share this with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Today is a Gift for more healing, grounded, real-life content to fuel your inner growth. And tomorrow morning, don't forget, the first 10 minutes are yours. Use them well.